Now, to follow this, as images of damage from Hurricane Michael start to come in, thousands of FEMA employees are out there in the field ready to help. Mark Naveau is a former FEMA senior official, and this storm bringing, Mark, some deadly hazards, as we just now are finding out that at least one person has now been confirmed dead. As someone who has coordinated relief efforts, what concerns you most about Hurricane Michael?
This is a triple threat hurricane. As Mark was talking about before with Florence, it sat over the area and it dumped a lot of rain. But what we're seeing with this particular hurricane are high winds, 155 miles an hour. We're seeing in Mexico Beach City a tremendous amount of flooding. We're also seeing in Tallahassee a lot of the trees are falling over, which is knocking out power. In particular, the Emergency Operations Center in the state capital in Florida is on generator power. So I think as time goes on, we're going to see a lot more damage that's been reaped from this hurricane.
Yeah, Mark touched a little bit on this, and that is the fact that many hurricanes, they tend to sputter out after they hit land and lose the title of hurricane, but we're not seeing that here with Michael. Does that mean that cities far inland, obviously they're going to feel an actual hurricane? Does that mean then that the response here has to change?
Well, what they did was they planned tremendously. They've got a national incident management team at the state capitol. They've got federal air bases in Fayetteville, Arkansas that are staffed up with resources. They've got National Guard, I think 3,500 soldiers on alert. They've got 1,000 power workers ready to roll into that area. So they can move those resources wherever necessary. But what the challenging part to this was that nobody anticipated it to be this damaging, this severe. And so it's ramped up in a short period of time. Hopefully people were able to heed the evacuation. Florida is very, very good at handling these types of things. So we're going to have to wait and see as teams start to get into those damaged areas how severe this damage actually is.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been talking here about the winds, and this video just shows the concern here of easily trees turning into flying weapons. But there is also, Mark, this concern about storm surges.
Yes. Yes, and storm surge is one of probably the most damaging. We talk about winds, certainly that knock over trees, power lines, but that storm surge, when it starts to come in, we're talking anywhere from 9 to 15 feet in certain areas. You saw in Mexico Beach what has happened from the storm surge there. You're seeing water levels just below the roof line of some of those homes. That's tremendously damaging, not only for those homes, but the infrastructure, the power, the sewer, the roads. It's impassable to get in there. That's where the real damage comes, is the storm surge.
Yeah, and we know that this is a fast-moving storm, so the recovery effort will obviously start as soon as this storm blows through. Mark, before we let you go, what will be the first priority here?
They're going to get into the hardest hit areas, and they're going to try and do aerial reconnaissance, whether it's with drones or helicopters, and try and take a look at that infrastructure. They want communications up, they want power up, they want to make sure the sewer systems are operating and all of those. The infrastructure is key. Certainly, simultaneously, they got 6 water rescue teams out there that are FEMA USAR urban search and rescue teams. They're going to be searching for folks. I think what we're going to see from this storm is a lot of damage that we're not hearing about right now.
All right. Mark Naveau, always a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us once again. We will continue to track Hurricane Michael and have up-to-the-minute information both on air and online at ktvu.com.